everybody, welcome back to my cozy little theory channel. Well, not welcome back, this is my first ever video. I have to tell you guys, I stumbled across this weird little, gotcha bubble ARG thing. And I think this might be the new big thing. I think this might be more deep than FNAF. In which, speaking of FNAF, that's going to play into my theory today. But my theory today is that Yogurt from the ABDW world is, the true Immortal and the true main character. And that Yogurt is truly the best main character they could have picked, and so on and so forth. But I truly believe that in ABDW lore, not only are all the characters immortal, but all the characters are, I don't know, fragmented. I don't know, I'm going to have to get into the theory. You're going to have to really open your ears and listen, alright? Okay, so, kicking off this theory with a bang, I'm going to start where I started. I'm going to start at what I saw, right? So the first thing I witnessed on this channel was ABDW witnesses Miles transform into racism, right? Where we're introduced to the cast, okay? So we have Turgedge, who's also known as Yogurt, but keep in mind that the name is different. Also keep in mind that MILWS's name is different, and then we have Grape. Question mark, which is important. The question marks are important. But keep in mind that we have all these three characters, and then we also have Guest, who appears later, who will be important in another video, actually. I have this big theory video analyzing who Guest really is. Because this gets crazy deep, dude. I thought this was just some stupid gacha videos, something that some stupid friend group came up with on the whim, But no. This goes really deep into a lot of problems, problems in the LGBTQ community, problems about being gay and being young, problems in the LGBTQ community, and Yogurt's story really dives deep into what a relationship can turn you into, and how much are you willing to sacrifice? At what point is a sacrifice too much, right? So, I'm gonna kick off this rant by talking about the actual first video, the singing battle video. Actually, no, I'm gonna start off by talking about the timeline of the videos, right? No, I'm gonna kick this video off by talking about how I think that this is different AUs, right? So, basically, I truly do believe that these are different AUs or different characters who somehow communicate. No, here's my theory, right? I just came up with this theory just now, mid-video. Call me the theorizer, right? I truly believe that these are different AUs, but as they die, they get to pass on one particular key memory onto the next Yogurt. Alright, this is going to be specifically about Yogurt. I don't know what's going on with Miles' character. I wish that there was more to work with, but right now, all that we know about Miles is that they really love Guest, and that they grew wings once, although I do believe that Miles does help support this theory. So, basically, the first ever video, in my personal timeline, the first video, is the soulmate color video. And you might be looking me dead in the eyes, looking me dead in the nuts and saying, you bloody bloke, there is no clarity video. Wait, not clarity. There is no there is no soulmate color video, right? But you'd be wrong. You'd be bloody wrong, lad. Because basically, if you go to the comment section of the Miles in ABDW video, you'll see a comment section, any video basically, you'll see several different channels, some hate comments, some love comments, someone talking about how they hate the video so much from the bottom of their heart, but you'll also see this separate channel which has their name as Yogurt and ABDW, and you might be saying, hey, that's a familiar name, and I'd be saying that too, and that's because Yogurt is actually part of ABDW, which might be insane to believe, but you'll notice that the character on your screen looks just like the Yogurt from the videos that Yogurt and Anything But Dandy's World is making. Anyways, skedaddle onto that channel, right? You'll see two separate videos as of recording this right now. Although if they make another video, I will definitely post a live reaction. They have two separate videos, right? One is Soulmate Colors meme, and then I believe that the second one is Hated Child or something. That's kind of unimportant right now. The Soulmate Colors meme is the first one chronologically, because as you can see, Yogurt is looking over, or in the end scene, Yogurt is looking over the edge of the building, and a little baby, I'm not gonna lie, while watching this, my maternal instincts were activating, so you can imagine how sad I became when Yogurt flew flying off the building, was pushed over by Guest, who could have seen that one coming? So Yogurt died, right? Yogurt was pushed off the building, right? And you might be thinking, oh, well that sucks. But then, right after Yogurt dies, right, as Yogurt's lying down on the floor, you can see Miles saying, hey, the flip is Yogurt, I actually love you, Guest, forever and ever. Now keep this in note, maybe keep this in mind. You know what I think? I think that Yogurt was actually bleeding out on the floor, even though they had X's in their eyes, I believe that Yogurt was bleeding out on the floor at this point. And Yogurt was still alive, right? So Yogurt heard Miles say something, I love Guest more than you, something, which was heartbreaking, devastating. And you know what? I truly do believe that if there was a Lord Almighty, if there was a God, the God met with Yogurt and was like, yo, Yogurt, Yogurt, I saw that you died. That was pretty unfair, lad. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you deliver a message on to your next self. And Yogurt was like, oh, okay. And so Yogurt's message was, 1, falling off of high buildings actually does kill you. And 2, Miles has something going on with Guest, right? And you want to know who I think this quote-unquote second Yogurt is? According to my timeline. So according to my timeline, this second Yogurt is the one featured in the Sing Battle. So this means that the Sing Battle came after the Soulmate Colors trend. Now we have 2 videos on the timeline. And this would explain why in the introduction, Yogurt is talking about, is it me or that blue-haired twink over there? And you know what Miles picked? Miles picked Guest, alright? Miles picked the blue-haired twink. And I'm pulling up the second video right now. I'm ecstatic right now. So, as you can see in the Clarity meme, which is the one that chronologically comes next, this is the 3rd video in our timeline. As you can see in the Clarity meme, Yogurt is watching Miles as Miles abandons Yogurt and falls in love with Guest, which is heartbreaking, you know? If you saw someone fall in love with someone again, how do you feel, you know? So Yogurt goes flying off of the building. Yogurt takes the advice from the other Yogurt and comes flying off of the building, which is really heartbreaking. And I'm sorry if you haven't watched it yet. If you haven't watched it, go watch the series now. This is a beautifully made series. It brought me to tears. In fact, I sat down with my parents for a watch party and they were like crying. They were crying tears of sadness, not because they were forced to watch such horrible content. Not because they were forced to watch such horrible content, but just because they loved it so much. So if you haven't watched the series yet, please watch it. Alright? There are spoilers for the rest of this video. Alright? Anyways, as I was saying, Yogurt goes flying off the building, right? Yogurt dies. I believe that Yogurt dies. Miles comes over and tries to save Yogurt, but I believe that Yogurt... Miles comes Yogurt. Silly me. Miles comes over and tries to save Yogurt, but I believe that Yogurt truly does die here. So, Yogurt dies in the Clarity meme, right? Yogurt dies angry. Yogurt dies because Yogurt wanted to. Yogurt dies full of rage and anger towards everyone, specifically Guest and Miles, right? So, here's my theory. Yogurt decided to pass that message on to the next Yogurt, because you can only pass one message at a time on to the next Yogurt, you know? So Yogurt passes on the message, and I quote, "We hate Miles. Whatever you do, don't let that bloody bloke get ahead of us," right? So, in this next universe, and I'm gonna, I don't know if I want to move on to the next part of the timeline or not. Actually I do. No, I don't want to move on to the next part of the timeline, because something important does happen in this video. I believe that the outro scene only, excuse me, I believe that the outro scene only further amplifies what I'm trying to say. Because as you can see, the outro scene is all glittery. It looks like a typical, please subscribe, oh, I'm begging you for likes and subscribes, oh, this is my gaming channel, oh, I'm gonna play Minecraft after this. But no, this is actually what people see in the afterlife. Because you wanna know what happened? You wanna know how I know? My grandma had a near-death experience. She was speeding in a car down the highway, and she was trying to chase after a truck full of Twinkies. I don't know why she would do something so stupid, but she was trying to chase after them, and when she crashed into them, she died, but only for a split second. And you want to know what she saw? She said, darling, sweetie, honey, lad, I saw, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And if that's what my grandma saw when she died, then maybe that's what Miles and ABDW is trying to say here. Yogurt died, right? And Yogurt died, and after Yogurt died, we're supposed to jump back to the other channel, because if you check the comments section, you'll see that that Yogurt ABDW actually hasn't replied to that. But that's because Yogurt ABDW wants you to go find their channel. So you go over to the Yogurt ABDW channel, and you know what you see, right? You click on the next video, the hated child video, and you see Yogurt hates Miles. You can really see it. Yogurt doesn't care if Miles lives or dies. Yogurt glares at Miles evilly. Yogurt hates the children that Miles had with Yogurt, you know? It's tragic. It's disgusting. And I honestly felt heartbroken watching it. And then Miles goes and dies. Unimportant little tangent there. But Miles goes and dies. Yogurt doesn't seem to care, you know? The Yogurt from the the Yogurt from the Soulmate trend would have cared, but the Yogurt now doesn't care. And you want to know why? I think it's because the Yogurt revives differently, you know? I think it's because of what I've been saying this entire video. If you were listening, you would know, you bloody bloke, right? So, yeah, that's my theory. I don't know what else to go over here. I don't think that the other videos are really relevant. Let's see. Let me scroll and see what the other video is. We have a video of Copycat Gets Jealousy. Oh, wait! Copycat Gets Jealousy is actually really important, right? So, I believe that this is actually the next video in the chronological order and the final video in the theoretical chronological order. That makes a quadrilogy, whatever 5 videos is called. A 5-tuplet. Quintuplets. So, Yogurt tries to look like Guest, because Yogurt knows that Miles, for whatever reason, because I think the writers need to be shot. That's what I think, because this is cruel. As the number one, I don't think I can say that I'm a Yogurt kin, even as a joke. This is unfair, you know? So, anyways, yogurt. Hey. Oh, sorry, I thought my mic wasn't picking up my audio.
Yogurt disguises as Miles because Yogurt knows. Yogurt disguises Miles. Yogurt disguises as Guest because Yogurt knows that it's difficult to earn affection any other way, and Yogurt is not desperately. Yogurt is trying out different methods. You know, Yogurt is analyzing now. Yogurt has switched, as we can see in the Hated Child video. Yogurt has switched from being someone who's naive, who goes out and dies for the sake of their love, to someone who analyzes everything, to someone who looks at every angle, and to someone who changes their entire personality, their entire looks, just to be loved by someone. So I believe, and I theorize, that not only is Yogurt quote unquote immortal, and the others are immortal too, but that's not important. I'm not going to brush over that because this is about Yogurt specifically. I believe that not only is Yogurt quote unquote immortal, but I also believe that Yogurt will have a bright, brilliant character arc where Yogurt will actually break the fourth wall and exit the gacha world. But that's just a theory.
I mean, I only have like 30 seconds worth.
Yeah. ABDW fan 1985 out.